6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The Prime Minister has expressed Pakistan's desire to strengthen economic partnership with Belarus and benefit from its expertise in the agriculture machinery manufacturing. Shehbaz Sharif has directed the formulation of a strategy to expand railway network for strengthening trade relations with Central Asian countries. The Deputy Prime Minister says India's new normal stands buried and its claim of hegemony was blown into air during the recent conflict with Pakistan. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called upon the United Nations, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation and human rights organizations to save the Kashmiri children from Indian violence. Hajj rituals have begun with the convergence of millions of pilgrims from across the world at Mina tented city in Mecca. The Israeli forces have martyred 100 more Palestinians across besieged Gaza. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has expressed Pakistan's desire to further promote economic partnership with Belarus. Talking to the Defence Minister of Belarus, Lieutenant General Viktor Khenin, in Islamabad today, he said Pakistan and Belarus enjoy excellent bilateral relations that are strengthening with each passing day. He said we wish to benefit from the expertise of Belarus in the manufacturing of agricultural machinery. He said cooperation with Belarus in the field of information technology and defense will also be further enhanced. The Prime Minister briefed the Belarusian delegation on Pakistan's position regarding the recent tense situation in South Asia. He said Pakistan offered impartial investigations into the Pahalgam incident, but instead of responding positively, India demonstrated aggression by attacking Pakistan and targeting civilian populations, resulting in the martyrdom of innocent civilians. Shehbaz Sharif said Pakistan gave a strong response in self-defense against the Indian aggression. The Belarusian Minister of Defense said his country desires peace and stability in South Asia. He said the purpose of his visit to Pakistan is to make further progress on agreements between the two countries. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has directed the formulation of a strategy to expand railway network to enhance trade relations with the Central Asian countries. Chairing a meeting regarding Pakistan Railways in Islamabad today, he emphasized the need for a sustainable rebuilding of the railway infrastructure across the country for economic and industrial development. He highlighted that modernizing the railway network is a key component of national policy for regional trade and connectivity. He also instructed to expedite the work of connecting Gwadar to Pakistan Railways network. The Minister for Railways, Hanif Abbasi, briefed the Prime Minister regarding the ongoing reforms in Pakistan Railways. A meeting of the National Economic Council is underway in Islamabad with the Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif in the chair. All the four provincial chief ministers of the Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa are also attending the meeting. The Deputy Prime Minister Mohammad Asagdar has said India's new normal stands buried and the world witnessed its claim of hegemony vanish into thin air during the recent conflict with Pakistan. Briefing the media in Islamabad today on Pakistan's diplomatic outreach before and after the recent conflict with India, he said while Pakistan's diplomatic efforts have earned international recognition, he noted that there is even an outcry within India over Pakistan's successful diplomatic outreach. He said ceasefire is holding, but regretted the political rhetoric on the part of Indian leaders in view of the upcoming elections. Mohammad Asagdar said Pakistan is ready for dialogue with India, but not desperate for it. He said Pakistan seeks a composite dialogue that includes terrorism as well as other issues, including the Indus Basin Water Treaty. He said if India tried to divert or stop the water, it will tantamount to an act of war. He said the Indus Water Treaty cannot be suspended or amended as per the international law. The Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Ataullah Tarar, has stated that India has institutionalized terrorism as a tool of foreign policy. Speaking at a news conference in Islamabad today, he said India is engaged in state-sponsored terrorism, not only in Pakistan but has also targeted the minorities, especially the Sikhs across the globe. The minister further said Indian proxies were responsible for the killing of Sikh leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada, and that India had attempted to target Sikh activists in Australia and the United States. He said India has a history of fueling terrorism in Pakistan, and it continues to facilitate terrorism through its proxies such as Fitna al-Hindustan in Balochistan. He highlighted the arrest of Commander Kulbhushan Yadav, a serving officer of the Indian Navy in Balochistan, saying that Kulbhushan Yadav had confessed to carrying out terrorist activities in the province. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference has called upon the United Nations, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the European Union, human rights and child protection organizations to come forward and save the Kashmiri children from Indian violence. The APHC spokesman, Advocate Abdur Rashid Minhas, in a statement in Srinagar, said Indian troops not only arrest innocent children but also use them as a weapon of war in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. He said the world community must also play its role in resolving the Kashmir dispute according to the United Nations resolutions and aspirations of the Kashmiri people. He said Indian forces have orphaned and injured children in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir over the last 3 decades, whose parents have been brutally martyred in fake encounters and in custody. The statement said violence, cruelties and brutalities against Kashmiri children had been a well-thought-out plan of the Indian government, which is being carried out by the personnel of the Indian forces. The spokesperson said the world must not ignore the suffering of the Kashmiri children on the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression. This is Radio Pakistan giving you the news. Millions of Hujjaj gathered in the tented city Mina in Makkah today, marking the beginning of the annual pilgrimage of Hajj. Radio Pakistan's correspondent Abdur Rahman Chima reports from Mina that the guests of Ar-Rahman will spend the night in the tent city. In the wake of the forecast of sweltering summer temperatures, the Saudi authorities have made elaborate arrangements and preparations to ensure the safety and comfort of the pilgrims. The Hujjaj will move to Maidan Arafat tomorrow morning to perform the Rukn-e-Azam of Hajj, Waquf Arafah. The Hujjaj will listen to Hajj sermon in their tents, which will be translated in various languages. They will offer Zohar and Asr prayers simultaneously and spend the whole day in prayers, wazaif and talbi. Meanwhile, Pakistan Hajj Mission has urged the Hujjaj to strictly follow the instructions issued by the Saudi authorities to avoid the risk of overcrowding and hot weather conditions. The Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi held an important meeting with Jamiat-e-Ulama-e-Islam Chief Maulana Fazlur Rahman in Islamabad today. During the meeting, the overall political situation of the country was discussed, along with the current regional scenario in light of the recent Pakistan-India tensions. The Interior Minister inquired about Maulana Fazlur Rahman's well-being and expressed his best wishes for him. The President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif have felicitated Lee Jae-myung on his election as the President of South Korea. In the separate messages of felicitation, they said Pakistan remains committed to deepening its partnership with the Republic of Korea to achieve mutual objectives for regional and global peace as well as prosperity of the two nations. The Israeli forces in their incessant strikes have martyred 100 more Palestinians across Gaza. The martyrdom toll of Palestinians in the Israeli aggression in Gaza since October 2023 has now risen to over 54,000. The Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei says his country will not abandon uranium enrichment program. In his speech today, he termed the American proposal of abandoning the program as against the country's national interests. And finally, the weather report. Partly cloudy weather with rain, wind and thunderstorm is likely at isolated places in Islamabad, Upper Punjab, Upper Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Gilgit-Baltistan and Kashmir during the next 12 hours. Isolated heavy falls and hailstorm may also occur during the period. Wind and dust storm is expected in South Punjab. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.